Liaison Cinema Studio up here at Sundance.
Thank you very much.
So tell us a little bit about Sarah Soda, Sarah Toga, Sarah...
Savannah?
Oh, Savannah, sure. But yeah, so we like to always ask like where people kind of came from, because commissioners come from so many different fields. Some people come from production, some people from tourism or economic development.
Right.
What was your particular path to the top?
Production. I started out in production back in New York in 1969. I was there for 12 years. Then I moved to California. And I've been there for about 35 years. And it's just been assistant directing, production managing, line producing, directing, over that span of time, mainly with features in studio pictures, a lot of, very few independents. And then basically with that foundation and by living in Hollywood, the Savannah Economic Development Authority, after they had a study done by Stanford to find out what business they should be in, called me and interviewed me along with others to possibly represent them in Hollywood like Susan Sims represents Florida in California. And so that's how it basically started out for me about a little over a year ago. But my long suit is production, scheduling, budgeting, putting movies together, going on location. So it wasn't that much of a stretch in that regard because I was able to be on the other side of the table because I had a pretty good sense of what the location managers, the production managers, the producers, the directors are going to ask because I've done exactly the same thing.
And what about a particular affinity or attraction to Savannah itself? Like what kind of experience did you have with that area beforehand?
Well, it's a good question. Little or no experience as far as Savannah was concerned because I'd been to Savannah once in my life. I'd gone to school in Columbia, South Carolina, and I'd been down to Savannah once as a teenager. But I had been in and out of Georgia for maybe the last 30 years. I was there for Pet Sematary 2 in Sonoya, and I was there for a couple of other movies over these years. I was up in Clayton, Georgia, when we were scouting for First Blood with John Frankenheimer many years ago, back in the 80s. And so Georgia was not a foreign thing to me. I understood Georgia in the fact that they were very pro-filmmaking. So the idea is when they talked to me about Savannah, they were talking to me about Georgia. So and that meant a good thing to me.
So what is the thing you've come to appreciate most about it?
Savannah? Mm-hmm. Well, I knew a little bit about Savannah. I knew that it had a large historic center, but until you actually go there and you walk it and you realize how big it is and the amount of money and time and effort they put into making this a very beautiful city, because it is a beautiful city. The other big edge that I found was the fact that they had this incredible 20-mile drive and you're at the beach and you're sitting on the Atlantic Ocean. And I said, well, okay, they got the beach, they got this beautiful historic center. I said, with these two things to start with, it's the thing that you could probably really sell to the film and television industry. And so I saw that they already had something going for them. But again, film isn't that foreign to Savannah. In the last 70 years they've done, or last 50 years, they've done over 70 pictures in or around Savannah, like Forrest Gump and the famous bench scene and things like that. So it wasn't an unknown commodity, but could they build a sustainable film industry in Savannah like Wilmington has done and like Atlanta has done? And that was basically what attracted me to this whole idea, because you start with a beautiful place to begin with.
So, speaking about that beautiful place, what project, either during your tenure or prior, has represented it the best on the screen?
Well, that's a good question, because right now, Magic Mike could have been shot in Florida. Magic Mike 2 decided to come to Savannah, and that really kind of grabbed it. Z, which I haven't seen yet, but that's going to be coming out soon for Amazon, basically takes Zelda Fitzgerald in the 1918s and takes advantage of the historic center. You can look back in history, but I think they'll look at the fountain of good and evil, and people go to Savannah just to see the fountain. Or they'll go to find the bench, which is in a museum, of where Forrest Gump sat and talked about life. So these are things that stick in your head. I wasn't part of those projects, but it kind of tells you that people who love movies will go to places where movies were done.
If you needed to ask the government, either local or state, for something else that would help you attract projects to Savannah, what would you ask them for?
Well, I've already asked the economic development people for money, and they've been very helpful in that, and that's why we've been able to build a rebate plan. So that's kind of covered. I think the situation here is I just want to have a closer relationship, and I think have a pretty good relationship now with the state, as far as the State Film Commission, and see more support. They're already sending projects and recommending projects to Savannah. The whole point is, I think we're going to be looking for even more support than we have. They're not holding back. We just have what I ran into in Savannah was you had the film office, you had economic development, and you had Visit Savannah, which was the tourist bureau. They had some sort of relationship, but not a very close relationship, not the relationship I'd hoped they would have. So in the last year, they have become closer. They are talking more, and we're building something together. Because you really can't separate films from tourism. And you really can't go without a film office. And economic development is to build a sustainable business. And so all of us working together, I think is going to be quite good. That's what I think.
And is your purview also extended to promoting Indigenous filmmakers from Savannah in Hollywood?
Yes, we can do that, we will.
And have you had a chance to develop any talent from Savannah yourself personally?
No, not yet. I think the situation there is, but what I have done is I've gone out to the schools. I've gone out to Savannah Tech and to SCAD and to Armstrong and the other schools in the area. What I found out that Armstrong has had a drama department since 1939. So when we developed this tax rebate, I saw to it that any day players and the casting fees associated with day players would be part of the rebate to encourage casting directors from Atlanta and Los Angeles, New York, to look at the crew base, the casting pool, and look at young actors who are there or actors who are there without going outside of Savannah and build a core of actors. I mean, the key thing is we've been talking about doing a program as far as screenwriters and have a screenwriters conference. Now, Austin has one, Maui has one, the Hilton Head has one. Well, why doesn't Savannah have one? They have a fantastic film festival there. It's really a good thing that they have. But why can't we have a writers conference? Because it all starts with the material. If we can find writers to write about the South and write about Savannah and write about the Georgia and our region, then it's easier to say, well, it's written about that. Why don't we come here? That's a long game. That's the idea of 5 years down the road. And what I found with places like SCAD, they're very much in favor of this. And I think probably in 2016, we're going to put together a writers conference because I think it's important. So I think we're in the development process of actors and writers, and then of course developing and bringing people down there, and that will take those filmmakers at places like Savannah Tech and Armstrong, giving them the opportunity to really make films, because we'd love to see that happen.
Very cool. Now, if I had 48 hours and was coming through town, what would you make sure I saw or ate while I was there to be able to experience it fully and to entice me to come back?
Well, you'd have to go to, first of all, eating, you'd have to go to the famous ice cream parlor that's there, that's been there for 100 years. It's Stratton Leopold's ice cream. It's called Leopold Ice Cream. A friend, Stratton, has been a line producer for years. He's done a lot of movies. Stratton and I have been friends for many, many years. And he took over his father's business. You have to go there for ice cream. Then we're going to have to go over to the Savannah Candy Kitchen, because you had to have pralines and things like that, have that kind of stuff. Great seafood in Savannah. Great restaurants. They have fantastic restaurants. You have to be in the Historic Center. You have to see what's there, because you won't believe it. I basically said to one particular show, don't build it, shoot it. It's all here. Definitely go out to the beach and then look at all the other varieties things that happen, because what I think they really have in Savannah is a variety of looks. They don't have mountains. So when I hear people say, well, I need to go to the mountains, I show them and tell them that there are other really great places to go. I mean, that's where I probably would take them.
Very cool. Well, thanks for spending a few minutes with us.
Well, thank you very much for asking.